Hey guys, welcome back to another episode 12-inch figure Fanatic. So today we're going to open up THREEZERO's Stranger Things Will Byers. Now there's been a few Stranger Things figures out so far. This is just the next one in the lineup, and THREEZERO never disappoints, honestly. I've never opened up a THREEZERO figure and was disappointed in an accessory or the clothing or the head sculpt. They do everything. Now granted, there's no surprises on the positive end either. There's no times when I'm just like, wow, this is just unbelievable. Now, XO does that to me sometimes, but not THREEZERO. But I'm not going to be disappointed by this figure. If you haven't seen the other Stranger Things figures reviews yet, go check those out as well. But let's crack this open and see what we got inside. All right. So I think it goes without saying that the show is fantastic. One of the things that first caught my attention with this show was the fact that it was set in the 1980s, and the soundtrack definitely gives that away from the first episode. I just love everything about it. So the box is like the others in the past. It has an illustration of the character on the front. It has the photo of the character on the back. I'm not sure if they all did this, but this one does have the window, so you can see the inside of the figure. And this is always good for retailers, I think. I think that's where this benefit lies, because then somebody's going into a comic shop or a toy shop and they pick this figure up and like, boy, do I really have to look up the photos from the manufacturer that may or may not be accurate to the figure? No, I'll just open up this flap and see the actual figure itself and decide whether or not I want to buy it. So that's always good. So in watching the show, I think there was some confusion in the last season about whether or not he was gay, and I don't know if the show did that intentionally. It seemed like they raised the question through the dialogue in the series, and then didn't answer it either. So kind of like they wanted to present a conundrum and then have the viewer figure it out. Kind of like with Captain Marvel. All right, so one thing I noticed with the head sculpt is it's just kind of bland. I'd say that the nose itself is too wide. It should be narrower. The eyes don't pop out. They're just kind of artificial. They don't have any dimension. Now, THREEZERO is not an expensive figure, so we're not saying that it needs to be like some of these custom jobs that are selling on the internet. But at the same time, it's not a cheap brand either. The clothing itself is pretty good. I would say that the jeans could probably fit a little bit tighter. This doesn't look like it's tailored to 80s style jeans. Yeah, and then I will say that the shoes look very nice. It's got some, so it attaches to the leg. The shoe attaches to the leg at the ankle. It's got a peg there, but it also has a sock, which I appreciate. And of course, they didn't have the Adidas logo here because they don't have licensing rights. But you could always add that yourself, right? Print out some decals. Nicely weathered, though. Like the face, the hands just don't have that much dimension in the paint. It's just, there's not too much going on. Even the sculpt itself is not very detailed. It's kind of like a Xerox copy of somebody's sculpt that they copied. Copy of a copy. It's got a watch on, and it's got a small readout on there, digital watch. And it zippers, the vest zippers. So when this figure is standing next to the others, you could definitely tell who's who. You know who this is. But figure by itself, I don't know. If you didn't have the other three Stranger Things figures, you'd be like, who is that kid? Let's see what else we got here. All right, we got a black backpack. It's got some padding in here to puff it out a little bit, but it looks like the zippers do actually work as well. Like a lot of the other ones, you've got the radio. Antenna doesn't come out at all. But it's detailed enough. And it's got the easy strap on the back here. we have got a rifle made out of plastic. This doesn't move at all, which, I don't know, most of the times you see that it would. And then it's got a very small magazine. There it is. I don't know what kind of round that would be. That's a very tiny magazine for a large rifle like that. So, yeah, but not too much. They don't even have a strap on this. So yeah, detailed enough, though. Good paint job on it. A pencil. Okay. Something having to do with the show. I forget what the significance of the pencil is. And then we got a bunch of hands. All right, so let me set this figure up, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here it is. One thing I'd like to call attention to that I didn't point out before, this was with the instructions for the figure. So this is just the small illustration. So that would give a little bit more clarity to the pencil here. So essentially the idea is that he had just completed sketching this illustration. And I think he was like in a transic state when he did this drawing in the show. I forget. I don't know. But nice little addition to add in there. So overall impressions of the figure, score 1 to 10. I'm going to give it a 7.2. It checks all the blocks as THREEZERO usually does, but as THREEZERO usually does, it doesn't wow me at all. The head sculpt is lacking in a paint job, so much so that I'll probably have to get it professionally upgraded. But I mean, it's got the young teen figure, the body type. It's got all the the detail in the accessories and the clothing. THREEZERO is very good about detailing the clothing and the choice of materials for the clothing. So that's one thing that they do excel at and don't disappoint at. But yeah, I think that's a fair score. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.